The next colors that we're going to do on the Rollergames playfield are the yellow and the orange. And there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of technique involved on this as well. Right now, what I'm trying to do, because the top of this is huge, and to get this entire thing, now I've already colored that red, so to get that entire thing, I have to split it up in into three separate sections. So I've already got two of the sections down, and I'm reprinting the middle section right here. And right on cue, there's this noisy thing, gives me what I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish weeding that. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here, and then I'm gonna start. And again, some of this is experimental. I've done fading before. And again, what we're gonna deviate from the original because we have all these dots in here. That's the only way with screen printing that they could get that fade. I don't know if there's any other way to do it. All right, like I'd mentioned at some point, I believe, that these halftones right here, these little dots, again, that's the only way that they could fade colors. Well, screen printing, and there's not really a way to correct it unless you're using water slide decals, which I'm not really a big fan of. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get basically what essentially is a primer coat on here to make everything even. I've got some real big gashes right here, some that are my fault and some that are not so much my fault. So I'm gonna start with that. I don't want to put this on too thick, but I want to put it on thick enough to cover up these issues in the playfield. So I'm putting it on a little bit thicker up here. Since I'm getting rid of the halftone pattern, I don't want it to peek through. Plus, I don't want the bare wood to peek through, obviously. So it's very light over on the yellow spots. That is there is a little issue down here though. So. And for the most part, I think I've got the important parts covered up here. And then I'm going to hit it one last time to try to kind of even things out a little bit. All right, here we go with the yellow. Again, another reason I kind of kept it so that I kind of put the quote-unquote primer coat down so I could also kind of eyeball it as far as where the fade comes in. The fade comes up to about here with the yellow. So what I'm gonna do, oops. Clean out your gun, guys. All right, you kind of wanna lay it on thick, but I also wanna make sure, apparently I got a whole bunch of water in here. Let me make the mistakes for you, folks. Oh, shoot. All right, we're good. And while doing a fade like this, you want to always go light to dark. If somebody's got a better way, then that's cool. Covered very, very well, in my opinion. Step one done. I went ahead and mixed the orange, and you know, comparatively, I think it looks, oh, well, to the darker parts over here, I think it looks pretty good. So you can go a little bit lighter, because if you just keep or like, you know, doing it again and again, it'll darken it. So that's kind of what the technique that we're going to try to use here, if we can call that a technique. So I'm definitely going to need more yellows, so I'm just doing this one part right now for the demonstration, and I'll do everything else in time lapse or whatever. But because this is probably all that we're going to have is enough for this one part right here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this sucker up. Keep the cups around for matching purposes, and it's probably going to be dried out by the time I get back to it, but that's okay. All right. Test it, make sure it's not too watery. Okay. So here I come from the other side now. And don't forget to dry in between. Again, this is a heat gun. This is Harbor Freight Special. This is like my 4th one because these things are junk. But I mean, it used to be only like $8. So, I bought the warranty because I know it's gonna crap out on me in less than a year, or 2 years. That's a pretty good orange on the top here. I'm pretty happy with that. Very happy with that. Now I just need to kind of feather this into the rest here. I'm going to try to get a wider spray pattern. All right. There we go. That's it. I think. Let's find out. I just double checked pictures on my phone to make sure that I'm about in the right spot. I may have gone a little further than before, but again, splitting hairs at that point. All right, bros, that was harder than it looked. Anyway, so here's the moment of truth. I think I did an all right fade. Hopefully. Overall, here's what we have after we did the fade on the top part. I'm pretty happy with it overall. The only issues I see a couple issues up here. It's becoming more and more apparent that I screwed up the clear coat, the initial base coat right here. I'm gonna take care of this. It's okay. I'd rather have it happen now than later, but you know, basically I think the main problem was You know, when I was using that scuff pad, I was using an old one and didn't really have much left to it. So if I were to do it again, I would have scuffed the crap out of this thing before I put the base coat down. Because again, that creates a lot of like the adhesion because it's got more tooth to it. You don't want to fine sand everything before you clear coat it, otherwise it's not going to stick to anything. So, whoops, I definitely have some areas around it, and it sucks. I'm not going to pretend like I'm happy about it because I'm not, but it is what it is. We'll figure it out.